Same old Bobby, same old beat. Yeah, they got nothing on me. The same old cars, same old streets. But yeah, they got nothing on me. And easy come and easy go. Yeah, I'm sure I told you so. They just want you for your door. Man, I'm sure I told you so. Well, your dead job has been eating away your life. You feel a little inside, but trouble and strife. And now you spend your evening searching for another life. And yeah, I think you got in your sights. Well, easy, easy. There's no need to take that toll. Well, easy. I'm on the telephone. I should've kept my receipt. Cause this time when Chapo, yeah, it's been off for a week. And now Tesco stealing my money. When positivity seems hard to reach, I keep my head out of my mouth shut. Cause if you're going through hell, you just keep going.
Walk for me, 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 serve, walk for me, serve, walk for me, serve, walk for me, serve, walk for me, walk for me, walk for me, walk for me. I'll see you after the function. Walk for me, 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 walk for me.
¿Qué tal? Muy buenas noches. Bienvenidos a este cierre de la segunda jornada dentro de Google Plus Fashion México. Y qué forma de cerrar el día que con unos invitados muy especiales. It is a great pleasure to have you over. Timo Weinland, Timo, Donna, Alan, welcome to Mexico.
Thank
Hope
you.
that you're having a great time, and welcome to Google Plus Fashion.
Oh, thank
Thank
We
you
are.
so much.
We
We're having a great
are
time.
thrilled to be in Mexico City.
It's
We
been
love it here.
it's been a real dream here.
That's
Such a
it's
wonderful city.
to have you. And we were starting to talk about inspiration and Instagram. I would like us to go through this again for our general public so they can understand where all these sort of little blips that were printed or knit into the designs came from.
Well, we're really obsessed with Instagram in general, but that's the inspiration itself really just came from our friends and our lives. So, you know, we were capturing so many things that were just inspiring us around New York and other
Just taking
places.
pictures with your cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Well,
was
we
not on
didn't-
purpose.
We didn't
Not on purpose.
No,
consciously-
no, I'm
we
sure
didn't
you-
consciously say like, you know, we're going to take pictures and that's going to be what we're going to talk about for our next show, but it just ended up being so. We were sourcing images, we were sourcing inspiration, we were thinking about New York, and then it just occurred to us that our daily lives we felt were inspirational to our collection clearly, and then Instagram as a whole just brought it to a whole different level.
Yeah.
That's an interesting way of seeing it. You are a very young brand. Because as I can see, that you were in the Fashion Incubator program of the CFDA, right? When
We're
was
still-
this?
we're
You're
still
still
there.
in it.
Yeah.
You're still in it. Could you explain to us a little bit this experience? Because we're always in awe of what the Council of Fashion Designers of America does for young designers. And it would be really great if you could share this experience with us and with our public.
Yeah, well, we're a part of the second class of the CFDA Fashion Incubator, and it's really launched so many careers. The class before us are all people we admire so much. Prabal Gurung, Bibhu Mohapatra, you know, so many others, House of Warris. And friends of ours like them really encouraged us to apply. So we applied to be a part of it, and it's just been nothing but support from within the fashion community, leaders in the industry. We've had so many mentors that have just been life-changing and career-changing.
And when you say mentors, it's because they are these leaders in the industry that you can sort of come,
Yeah.
approach when you have a problem, or you can talk to them about it.
Yeah.
And being in this Fashion Incubator program, I understand you traveled. Is that right? Where did you
We
go?
went to
Inspiration
Bali.
trip.
You
Yeah.
went to
Yeah.
We went to Bali in Indonesia, and we fell in love with the climate there, with
Yeah.
the people there. You know, Timo has comes from a surfing background, so we had that. Don and I, we
We're-
tried
we're
surfing.
Avid beach lovers.
Yeah, we're avid beach lovers, and we just had a fantastic experience. And really, honestly, I mean, we can give a certain inspiration for each collection,
Right.
but it's a group of things about our lives and how it changes us. So
Yeah.
And this was a big one. You know, I feel like we were able to just leave New York as a team for the first time in a long time. And now we're in Mexico City as a team, which is amazing.
also a new experience.
But
Yeah.
being in Indonesia, it just, we were really out of our element, but we like brought New York with us,
Yeah.
you know, and that's kind of something that we really like brought who we are and like just our things with us, you know, and it
So-
just was,
It's a continuous
Yeah.
theme. It's a New Yorker. It's always a New Yorker because that's
Yeah.
what we are.
Yes.
Traveling to various places or experiencing different things, and just it's always relevant to us and our lives and our friends.
Did you all study? Where did you all study?
Don and I went to FIT,
T.
and Timo went to Vanderbilt in Tennessee.
I went to
Oh.
Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee.
And did they have a fashion career, or
No,
did
I
you
was
study
business
something else?
in art. I mean, I had an art studio there the whole time, which was phenomenal. And the city itself was so much inspiration to me. Like Nashville's not what
Oh, I love Nashville.
public,
I think
yeah.
all the music and everything.
Yeah.
people that haven't been there don't understand how incredible of a place it is.
So
It's-
taking that step back, how does Timo Weinland come together? I mean, you're three designers. It mustn't be easy. Try to incorporate every thought into a collection, start building this brand. How did that actually happen?
It's small disasters, it's small successes, it's compromise, it's really interesting. But the three of us work together really hard. The three of us have gotten to know each other very well over the past couple of years. It's 4+ years, and I think, you know, we all kind of know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and we just work with that. And that's pretty much how the way we came together is a different story.
And it's really, you know, it's shared values and shared experiences and just more or less a family in New York. And it's just, that's what inspires us. You know, it's a family of, like, not only artists, but creative people that are different levels of, you know, it's just, but we have the same group of friends. So for us, it's like, it's a unified front. And we're deeply involved in the music industry as DJs. So there's that element kind of coming in, music always inspiring us, and really like streetwear. You know, I grew up surfing, you know, Alan and Donna grew up, you know, really with like this street from different parts of the world. Streetwear really unified us, so.
You recently appeared in Made Fashion Week. I had the pleasure of watching that show live.
Amazing.
And it was a collection mainly composed of women clothing. Now we see men's. Which one do you enjoy most? And how do you approach those different personalities between men and women?
Well, they're two different children, so it's simply like asking someone who's your favorite kid, you know? You can't decide which one's your favorite.
There's so much overlap in terms of like the personality. It's not overlap in terms of the designs, but it's more of the women's we're borrowing from the men's a little bit. You know, it's like the boyfriend jacket or the boyfriend trouser, what have you. But it's a brother-sister duo or travel companions or boyfriend-girlfriend or best friend. You know, it's really just wherever. It's a pair.
Yeah,
and
it's
the
a
pair
lifestyle.
is the full story.
The same design idea, but you know, we approach each male and female a little differently, but they share the same value.
It'd be wrong for us to like take one away from the other and say that one is completely unrelated to the other, because it's not the case.
And the reason between showing predominantly women's was just, this is the way we felt. Like, we did an amazing men's lookbook for this season, and we just felt like, you know, we weren't going to completely combine the two shows, because, you know, you're creating a bigger thing than it could be. Like, we really wanted to concentrate on women's runway. We wanted to have a couple men's looks, so they're in the conversation. And, you know, this season we chose to do a great lookbook for the men's, and that seemed to really work for us this season. But I don't know what the future is going to hold, but it was nice. So.
Also, we have slightly different themes for the men's and the women's. So when it came down to editing for the runway, it kind of clashed a little bit. Right? The men's had a little bit of the 50s themes, and that wasn't really relevant for the women's.
Yeah.
So but even though they have slightly different themes, they seem to just mesh together because it's coming from the same, like, house. Our office isn't that big. We're constantly in each other's faces. Our inspirations are always similar because our lives intertwine so much.
Definitely.
But the way men's and women's evolves in fashion is different. Like, you know, there are women's ideas that we think that are great for design. And there are men's ideas that we think are great for design, and they don't necessarily have to be combined.
Being a part of Google, I have to ask you this, and it's basically being a younger generation of fashion designers and also businessmen. What role does the online world play for you, and how do you see it influencing fashion and the way that we used to know fashion? Oh,
it's huge.
Yeah, huge.
It's huge. Like, everything's changing in fashion so quickly because of the internet. Like, fashion's becoming so immediate and available because of the internet. Shows are shown on the spot now. Trends are evolving.
A lot of people aren't even doing runway shows. A lot of people are doing
lookbooks.
Yeah, it's I guess it's Film Fashion Week is coming up in New York in like a week, where it's just only films, only fashion films. But for us, you know, it's really democratized the whole fashion experience, and we see ourselves as an aspirational but also accessible brand. You know, we really want. It's not just fantasy. It's wearable. It's dress up streetwear. You know, very much inspired by our actual lives in New York. It's not. So for us, you know, we have a Tumblr, but we're getting like much more into it. It's like we're not bloggers ourselves, but we have a lot of friends that are.
Yeah.
And it's exciting to just see how our online business of our own for our company is really growing. You know, our customers just buying daily on our site, and it's for us to see what does well is really interesting.
Yeah, it's immediate.
Because
So you have
it's
an
things that-
online
gratification.
business that is very successful. And where do you sell physically? And
Barney's.
in Barney's?
Yeah, it's our 16th season at Barney's New York. We've grown. They were our first account, and we have really grown with them. And they're just such an exciting partner for us.
It's
Saks Fifth Avenue as well.
What number season?
16th.
16th.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
believe it.
Oh,
They've been
man.
with us from
Yeah.
the very beginning.
Right. Well, they,
So
And we have many amazing partners. You know, Saks Fifth Avenue, as Timo
Yeah.
was mentioning, they're amazing. You know, we have online shops like ShopBop and Whitmore, and to name a few others. I mean, there's
Ron Herman.
Ron
It's a
Herman
really
in
exciting
Los
West
Angeles.
Coast store.
So yeah, I mean, the thing is that we embrace both the online community
Right.
and we embrace the physical community and
the retail
the,
community.
the retail
Mhm.
community rather. But we just embrace the idea that the internet is changing our job a little bit, and we're with it. You know, like we want to know what's going on. We want to know what's next, and you know, we want to deal with it in our own special way.
We're really neurotic researchers, so it's a phenomenal resource for someone who is like
Yeah.
that, who's always like, you know, you get off on a tangent and all of a sudden you are so far from where you started, especially with Google. I don't know.
Oh
I
yeah,
love
you
it.
go into these Google
Addicted.
comas.
Yeah.
You know, you just start Googling everything.
Yes.
And you have to get back to, you know,
Yes, you
take
end
a
up,
phone
as
Yeah.
you
call.
say, in strange places, in strangest places
Yeah,
that
no,
you didn't
agreed.
expect.
Agreed,
Yes.
agreed.
Scary.
Through your online
dark
business, are you
places.
distributing internationally, or are you
Yes.
focusing on the
Yes.
U.S.
Yes,
market?
we've been shipping to Russia, Mexico, Japan, China, Singapore.
Everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Mexico yet, but hopefully sometime after this week.
So I
but
was
we-
just going to
yeah,
ask you that
yeah.
because I'm
But
sure
we're-
that people will
They
be
were
asking
there.
We're
about
very
that.
open to. I mean, obviously, we will ship to Mexico in a very excited way, and we have the hopes of
One
really.
question.
Yeah.
You all look very young. How old are you?
I'm 28.
28?
30.
I'm 38.
So she is the leader, age-wise.
She-
I think she puts
She's
you all in
38,
order.
and that's a fantastic age. but
Yes,
she doesn't look a day
fantastic.
over
No.
26.
She doesn't look 38. Obviously, she doesn't.
But I am.
Ah, but you are up here, which is very important.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
as you said at the beginning, what's it like to sort of interact and work? And it obviously works. It works just fine.
Oh,
Do you
thank
spend
you.
weekends
We
together?
have problems too,
Yeah,
but
sometimes.
but all together, like we're living, breathing, creating together. Like we work weekends, we work nights,
And we DJ,
You
so then
party
we
together
hang out
and
and we
you-
DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, we have families. We know each other's significant others very well. You know, we're intertwined in this. The fashion industry is really kind of 24/7. So
Well, 24/7. Now you know, Mike.
So guys,
yeah.
As you
yeah.
know, we have some people online who really want to talk to you and ask some questions. Let's
Great.
So, yeah.
give them a chance.
Great.
Buenas noches, Rafael. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás?
Hay dos Rafael.
Rafael
Ramírez.
Ramírez.
Quintana.
o Quintana.
¿Eres Quintana o eres Ramírez?
Si nos ayudan
Hola,
a...
soy
Hola.
Rafael Quintana. ¿Me escuchan?
Sí.
Sí.
Perfecto. Muy bien, bueno, pues yo quiero felicitarlos. El trabajo que realizan es muy interesante. el trabajar en equipo siempre representa un reto, aunque obviamente en la industria hay que hacerlo. ¿Cómo ha sido este trabajo en equipo con diferentes edades? Si me pudieran contar esto ahorita que estaban diciendo lo de las edades, ¿no?
He would
So-
like to know how it is to work as a team. I think that it's quite clear, but anyway, as a team and with the difference in ages, how do you sort of weave this together?
I think the ages
Doesn't make a
don't
difference.
play a real role. I think I think we all either work well with teams or we don't. There are times where things are going really well, and there's times where there's a strain. We really deal with this with as a professional relationship. Like, I think it's very easy to get intertwined. But we all know at the end of the day, and I think this is really important team-wise. Just we're here to benefit, and we're here to we're doing what we want. We created a fashion label. That's so exciting. It's so powerful. It's such a pleasure to do so. That we understand the greater good. I think, and that's kind of keeping that in mind is how I think you successfully can go through a relationship that has 3 people and it's creative. So
Keeping the big picture goal in mind.
Yeah,
Sorry.
sorry.
Just always very easy to get off track with personal issues, and we just try to put the stories aside, no stories, and just move forward with tangible, actual goals. And I come from a finance investment banking background, so I am like the taskmaster here. So it's like hard driving as it gets. But anyway, we have it's a great rapport, and over years it's just gotten stronger.
And
so.
you've always been together?
Yes.
Yeah, from the
yeah,
very
from the
beginning.
very beginning.
I actually wanted to compliment you on that amazing old school Apple computer you have behind you. I haven't seen one of those for like so long.
Yeah.
It's a relic behind you. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think he's frozen. One of them is
Well,
Well,
frozen.
I think he's frozen.
Yeah, one of those images, yeah. Let's move on. Let's go with Rafael Ramírez. Rafael, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás?
Who do we have?
Rafael. Si nos ayudas con el mute de tu computadora, nada más quitándolo en la parte superior derecha.
Listo, ¿me escuchan?
Sí,
Sí.
perfecto.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Soy Rafael Ramírez de Time Out México, de la sección de shopping. And, well, guys, I have 2 questions for you. Will the cities or the places you visit affect the way you design? And the second one is about fashion, cities, and people. What do you feel at the thought that your clothes are part of its history and everyday moments?
It's a great question. I think I got the first one, and
Yes.
the second part, how is it graffiti is intertwined with our collection? Is that possible?
I
Or is
couldn't
it-
hear the second
No,
question.
the
Okay.
first part was
Reception was off.
whether the places you
Ah.
visited
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
some influence on your design and on your collections. That was the first one.
I
The
mean-
second one I didn't catch either.
The idea with the places, we don't try to force it. So we can't just go somewhere and say, our next collection is going to be the place that we just went to because it has to be.
Yes.
But if we take something away with it, then that's important from a design standpoint.
Well, Bali inspired the women's wear
Oh, it
quite a
totally,
bit.
yeah, it
quite
totally
a bit
did.
this season. We went to Bali, and it definitely inspired the women's wear line. More in the prints and the ease of the silhouettes. It changed the whole feeling a lot. The surf culture there. So sometimes it does, definitely.
Yes, I'm sure that something
We
rubs
absorb,
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely inspirations from this trip that we will be probably using. You'll see it. You'll be like, is that from Mexico? Maybe.
Rafael, no sé si nos pudieras repetir tu segunda pregunta.
Seguro. Bueno, igual se las digo a ustedes y ustedes la traducen.
Claro.
Sobre la moda, las ciudades y la gente, ¿cómo afecta o cómo a ellos les influye que la ropa que ellos hacen es parte de su vida cotidiana? Que las ciudades y las grandes ciudades como Nueva York, por ejemplo, envuelven estas historias. ¿Qué sienten de que su ropa sea parte de todas estas historias?
So if we talk about fashion, people, places, when you talk about places like New York, large cities like New York or Mexico City, fashion gets to be a part of every people's life. How do you feel that you're going to be able to touch those people and have some influence or some impact on their lives?
It's definitely such a incredible upbeat feeling for us. That we feel like, you know, we have a lot of fun doing what we're doing. So we hope that, you know, by whoever's touched by what we create is also having fun wearing it. So I don't know if that answered the question, but
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like
Muchas
because we
gracias.
are inspired by like real
around
people,
us, yeah.
we tend to glean things from people that like the best things about everybody we know, and so I feel like we're all human, and there's like a collective consciousness. So even though we may come from different cultures, I feel like it's all relatable. Our clothing is relatable to everyone from a certain part in their life, not necessarily where they are, but where they are in life, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to reach out to, and hopefully it works.
I'm sure it does. Gracias, Rafael. Pasamos ahora con Vanessa Espíndola. Vanessa, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Si nos ayudas con el mute de tu micrófono.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Yo quisiera felicitarlos y más que nada preguntarles de qué tema fue el que escogieron para crear esta colección, que algo estaba escuchando que era como de ropa de calle y que se inspiraban mucho en lo que era el surfeo.
Yes, she'd like to know what your points of inspiration for this collection were. That she heard that it was, it had to do with surfing and with just streetwear. I think she didn't quite catch that it wasn't a surfing collection.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely the surf culture in Indonesia was kind of, our tour guide was a professional surfer, and he was definitely someone who, I don't know, that's what we saw over there. So it was great. We were visiting the fabric market and whatnot, but at the end of the day, we were surfing. We were hanging out with expat surfers, and like, it made its way into the collection for sure. And there's a common thread, nautical surf, that's through each piece of our brand. Most of it just because I guess like I grew up with that, and we all love sailing and we all love surfing. So it's
But it's not a surfer collection.
no, definitely
No,
not.
it's just maybe there's a little touch
It's,
here
yeah,
and there.
there's a little. We wouldn't
It's-
say that it's a literal. It's a literal like backbone of the collection by any means. But
Well, I suppose you'd have to be a surfer to recognize it.
yeah, maybe
Well,
so.
but surfing in New York is so big. It's so interesting. So we definitely, it's definitely in the conversation. You know, it's. But I'm not a surfer, but I really admire it. And Donna actually successfully really surfed well in Bali, but you know, it's still in the conversation because it's part of our lives. And you know, I hear Timo talking about it all the time. I admire it. But in general, it's a collection about our lives, and that's part of it.
And it's a streetwear and sportswear. Well,
Yeah.
not sportswear, but active sportswear.
Yeah.
There are a lot of little details in it.
yeah.
That there are, yeah.
So
Well-
guys, we're almost running out of time. I have to be the bad guy and basically say that we have to say goodbye. I would like to give you some time just to send any message that you want to send to the public out there. Even though this is coming out of Mexico, we're followed in almost 80 countries. So
Wow.
any message that you
great.
want to send.
That's amazing.
We thank you honestly so much for being with us tonight. And you know, for us, we feel very lucky to be doing what we're doing, and I could say that that's such a joyful thing. I would try that if you could, if it's possible,
Yeah.
as much.
Great. Thank you once again, Alan, Timo, Donna. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being here and accepting this invitation. Now I'll switch into Spanish. Gracias a todos ustedes que nos han seguido durante el día de hoy. No se olviden de conectarse mañana. Tenemos todavía dos jornadas intensas, muy interesantes, con un contenido bastante especial para todos ustedes. Gracias, Ana.
Gracias, Mike.
Y aprovecho también para agradecer a esas empresas, esas marcas que hacen posible que transmitamos, a Andrea, a High Life, a Redken, a Maybelline, un agradecimiento por ser parte de este gran proyecto. Muy buenas noches, nos vemos mañana.
Gracias a todos, buenas noches.
Gracias.